The Whisperheads stood unchanged. Stone and cloud gave no sign that anything unnatural had occurred. The mountains did not recoil. The fog did not part. There was no mark left behind to warn the living, no scar to suggest corruption. Nature offered no testimony. To the world beyond, the mission was already over. The Luna Wolves began recovery operations. Perimeters were established. Wounded were extracted. Fallen warriors were located and marked. This was familiar work, ritualized, efficient. Procedure took over where emotion might have lingered. The Legion moved as it always had, without pause, without reflection. Nothing in the process acknowledged what had truly happened. Jubal's remains were sealed and removed. There was no ceremony, no honor guard, no spoken farewell. His name was logged, his gene seed accounted for, his armor stripped and cataloged. Whatever he had become at the end, he was still recorded as having died in service to the Legion. Garviel Loken watched in silence. Jubal had been his brother, a warrior he had trusted without hesitation, a presence he had never questioned. Loken had killed him, and no one asked how, no one asked why. The absence of questions disturbed him more than accusation ever could. Euphrates Keeler stood among the survivors. She did not speak. She did not cry. She barely seemed to breathe. She had seen a warrior fall and rise again. The imperial truth had no words for that, no framework, no defense, and so it offered her silence instead. Keeler did not search for explanations. She did not need them. Something vast and unknowable had reached into the world, and she had felt it pass close by. The experience left her shaken and strangely certain, as though something unseen had briefly noticed her. Kirill Sinderman surveyed the aftermath with a practiced eye. Destroyed corridors, dead Astartes, civilian casualties scattered where they had tried to flee. This was not how the crusade was meant to look, not how it was meant to be remembered. History, he knew, was already demanding revision. Sinderman began to assemble explanations. Combat stress, psychological fracture, unidentified chemical agents. Each theory sounded plausible. Each one collapsed under scrutiny. But certainty was required. And uncertainty, he knew, was dangerous in the wrong hands. Better an incomplete answer than a question that could not be contained. For the first time, Sinderman felt the limits of rational language closing in. There were gaps his arguments could not bridge, voids logic could not cross. The thought disturbed him. He dismissed it, labeled it fatigue, and continued working. Garviel Loken received a summons, not through official command channels, not recorded in any formal log. It was personal, quiet, and impossible to refuse because it came from those who did not explain themselves and did not need to. The Mournival convened. 4 warriors, 4 trusted voices. This was not a court, not a tribunal, not a body bound by regulation. This was where the Legion decided what mattered and what would be allowed to fade. Ezekiel Abaddon spoke first. The galaxy was hostile. Enemies adapted. Unexpected threats were inevitable. Whatever had happened to Jubal, it would be hunted down and destroyed. Indecision, he warned, was the real enemy. Mercy and hesitation had no place here. Tarek Torgadon followed, Fear spread faster than truth, rumors faster than orders. A legion that doubted itself was already halfway to defeat. Some knowledge, he argued, had to be handled carefully, shaped before it spread. Horus Heresy spoke last, named Little Horus due to his striking resemblance to the War Master. The issue was not blame, nor failure. It was scale. A single incident could be managed. A legion questioning reality could not. Unchecked knowledge, he warned, was as dangerous as any weapon. Horus listened without interruption. He understood something fundamental. Belief was the legion's greatest weapon. Belief in itself. Belief in its purpose. Belief in victory as an inevitability. Once shaken, that belief could not easily be restored. Horus spoke quietly. What had happened to Jubal would not be discussed within the Legion. There would be no speculation, no rumors, no debate. Not yet, perhaps not ever. Silence for now was protection. The decision required no written order. It would be enforced by trust, by loyalty, by shared understanding. Those who knew would know when to remain silent, and silence would be mistaken for strength. Loken was drawn closer to the inner circle, not because he had answers, but because he had seen the truth and not broken beneath it. Brotherhood did not mean shared knowledge. It meant shared restraint, shared burden. Above them all stood Horus, confident, charismatic, certain. If the War Master chose silence, then silence became duty, and duty became belief. The truth did not vanish. It was sealed away, contained, carried forward by a few who would not speak of it. The Legion marched on, unaware of the fracture already running through its heart, and silence settled in, comfortable, familiar, and absolute.